Hey, Jamster. All right. Well, I decided that today I should try and stream something a little more relaxed and quiet since I normally play, big, exciting action horror games. Instead, I wanted to do something a little more chill. And so, Factorio. I've only had it for a week or two. A friend bought it for me, and there's a lot to it. You can get really in depth with it. It's basically a crafting and survival game, but it's all about building factory automation to do your crafting for you. You wanna get to the point where what you're doing is just, building assembly lines, and all the work of mining and building components and all that kind of stuff is done for you. Also a pretty quiet game for the most part. So I adjusted the game sound up a little bit from the normal Dead by Daylight level. So please let me know if it's too quiet, too loud, whatever. It's a very quiet game by its nature anyway. We'll get into it. So it's got a procedurally generated world. I generated one a couple days ago and just scouted a little bit just to make sure that this wasn't going to be 2 hours of me running around desperately trying to find iron. And most of the stuff I need is in pretty easy reach. So we can focus on building and not looking for resources. So the general plot is you've crashed on an alien planet and you've managed to scavenge a few supplies, but for the most part you need to, using just the scavenged supplies you have and the resources on the planet, you need to launch a rocket. And the supplies you have are a mining drill, a coal-fired mining drill, a stone furnace, and 8 pieces of iron. And that's all you have. So, I'm gonna start the way most of these kind of games start. And I'm probably gonna cough a bunch during this. Got something in my throat. I'm gonna start the way a lot of these kind of games start, by building a pickaxe. This is me. Kind of this funny little person in a yellow suit. You can zoom way in, and you can also zoom way out. This is about a good level, right around here. So you can see the map up here. On the map, you can see I have a coal deposit, copper, and an iron deposit here. And then way up here, I have stone. So those are the basic mineral or resources that I will need. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go manually get some coal. That might be a little loud. I'm going to turn the sound down just a bit. That's still pretty loud. I don't know. Let me know if it's too loud. So I'm just going to mine a bunch of coal. Seems fine? Okay. Over here there's a forest. I'm going to get some wood as well. You don't need very much wood, but you need a little bit. And I'm going to need some stone. So there's that big stone patch in the northeast, but there should also be some rocks around here that I can just break for stone. Again, initially I don't need a lot. I just need a little bit. Let's see if I can see any here. I should note I'm also playing with some mods. This game has built-in mod support, built-in mod browser. The mods I play with are mostly just quality of life. You know, adding a little extra UI elements, making it so I can walk between buildings a little easier, because sometimes without that you can get stuck. Hello. So I'm just gonna go grab some stone, and you can see I get quite a bit from these big rocks, so I don't actually have to go up to that big stone patch for quite a while. Yeah, this game is in active development too. Like, these devs do a lot. Okay. So right now I have this burner mining drill, and that is basically an automated mining drill that is fired with coal. So if I plop this guy right down here, you can see that yellow arrow is the output, and I can rotate it around. So I'm going to plop that guy right there. Now if I just stick one piece of coal in there, or half my coal, you can see it mines faster than it uses the coal. And it's just going to start dumping the coal right there. And then you can see, because there's something there, you know, it can't output anymore because there's a piece of coal blocking the output, but it stops burning the coal that it has. So everything only uses fuel when it's actually working. What do I need? I need some iron. I'm actually going to build another pickaxe, because I've already worn this one down quite a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and mine up some ore, or some iron ore. Because what I want to do is I want to build another one of those burner miners. Sure, that looks good. Now I also start with a stone furnace, and just like in a lot of other crafting games, You put coal in, you put metal in, and it turns your ore into whole metal. So I'm just going to let that smelt all my iron for me. There's a little bit of sitting around at the start of Factorio as you wait for these things to go. Pretty quickly you can get some pretty impressive automation up and running. I think I need 9 plates. Okay, so now I can build another burner mining drill. And you notice that when I built this guy, it has all these prerequisites, like it needs a stone furnace, it needs these iron gear wheels. But if you have the raw materials, it will construct all the intermediate stuff for you. You don't have to sit there and manually make the intermediate materials. It's pretty smart that way. Okay, so I'm going to take this other mining drill, and I'm going to pop it right here. So now, they are each outputting to each other. And they also output more coal than they mine. So basically, these two guys are going to sit here and mine coal and output coal into each other, so they'll keep each other running up until the point when they're both full. And at which point, they'll stop mining. So this is a good little starting thing. Get these two coal burning drills to fill each other up with coal. So while they're doing that, I'm going to come down here and build or mine more iron. Should say coal. Yep. Oh, those little, that hitch is, I believe, when it's auto-saving. Get used to that. Alright, that is plenty of iron ore. So now, let's see, what do I need? I need to smelt this iron. Because I want to be able to mine iron now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop another stone furnace here. Have him start mining. Go grab more coal. And just get him really getting all that stuff done. So this guy, you can see he's finished. He's out of iron. We'll just pick him back up. So what I want to do is build another one of these guys. And have him mine iron and feed it right into the smelter. Now right now I'm going to have to be manually filling both those machines with coal because they're coal-fired. Oops. Obviously, me running around back and forth filling up these two devices would not be very efficient. You know, it's a pretty slow process. What we really want is electricity. And electricity in this game is steam powered. And lucky me, there's a huge body of water right here. So from that, we can make steam power. I think I need some copper, so I'm just going to mine some real quick while I'm up here. You can see that manually mining this is really slow, and having automatic machines is really fast. So that is my preferred way to do it. And, you know, that's also the point of the whole game, so. Alright. Grab some more coal. Make sure this guy is completely full up. Grab as much iron as we can. We'll fill him back up. You can see this guy doesn't use coal very quickly. So he will be able to just smelt for a long time. And this guy doesn't. He uses coal a little faster. I don't know why I'm calling these things he. They're machines. They're not even machines. They're video game machines. This is not a pipe. Looks like I'm almost worn through my second pickaxe, so I'm just going to make one more of those. And so to build steam power, the first thing we need is a pump. And to make a pump, I need copper. Yeah, I knew I had that for a reason. I'll go ahead. Make another one of these. Didn't I have two of those? Where did I put the second one? I don't know. Doesn't matter. So that will make some copper for us. Thought I had two of these guys. I don't know where the other one went. Maybe I dropped it someplace stupid. Certainly not here. Maybe I put it up here. Doesn't really matter. Those furnaces are very cheap to make. All right. Now I can build an offshore pump. See that building down there? I want to build a boiler. And I need a little more iron to build a steam engine. We'll come grab some iron. Okay, these guys are just plucking away. They've barely used up any of their coal. They're just going to keep going for a long time. I think I should be able to build a steam engine. All right, so need to put steam engine for our pump. It doesn't really matter, but we want it to be kind of close to the coal, so we'll put it here. Build a pipe just in case I need it. So this is going to hook right up to the boiler, and the boiler is going to hook right up to the steam engine. So you notice the boiler needs coal, and that's why we want it to be close. Now you see those guys just stopped. They were full of coal. Now this guy's going to be full of coal. And this guy uses a lot of coal, like really a lot. Whoops, I built this guy in the wrong output. This guy should be here. I believe. Close this map. A little hard to see because I'm playing on a much smaller window. This isn't full screen. I noticed I did a test stream earlier, and when this was full screen, the graphics just looked super muddy. It doesn't resize at all. Let's see, can I move the map? Not really. Oh, that's something to note. One second. I need to fix that. All right, there we go. So I made it full screen just so we can see more of the interface. It's probably going to look a little muddier, and that's fine. Let me know if it gets too muddy, and I'll try and find a happy medium. Okay, so here's what I was trying to see. So my boiler, you can see on the right-hand side, it's full of water, and it's producing 200 steam. This guy, my engine, is also full of steam, but he doesn't have anywhere to send the electricity he's making. So let's make some power poles. I think I need more wood to make more than that. Okay. I could also zoom in a little bit. I just know the text doesn't resize very nicely. What do I need? I need more copper. There we go. More copper, pick up some more iron while I'm over here. And make more power poles. Let's see. All right. Using electricity. Okay, we now have electricity down here. So one of the first things I want to do, I actually don't need electricity right there, because these guys are going to remain coal-fired. But I'm going to start building a lot of other stuff now. One of the first things I'm going to build is conveyor belts. Conveyor belts are the heart and soul of what this game is. Everything you do involves lots and lots of conveyor belts all the time. So I'm now going to stop pointing these guys at each other. And instead, I'm going to build some conveyor belts. You notice the belts are filling up with coal. And right now, where I want that coal to go is right up to my boiler, because as I said, this guy goes through a lot of coal once he gets going. Once there's a lot of stuff consuming electricity, it uses a lot of coal. So if these guys are going to remain coal-fired, how are they going to get their own coal to run? The answer is in these inserters. Inserters are the other half of the equation, basically. Inserters are what move materials around. And in this case, I'm going to use these inserters to grab coal off the conveyor belt and insert it back in here to run these. You can see the inserter has a the flat line is basically the input and the arrow is the output. So I'm going to build 2 of these inserters like that. You can see now that they are loading coal back into the burners. These are coal-fired inserters, and they will also load themselves with coal. So anytime they are out of coal, they will reserve just enough energy to keep themselves full. Yep, this is a self-sustaining model. For coal mining. So now I just need to run this belt all the way up here to my boiler. And up here, whoops, I will use another inserter pointed that way. It will start, you can see it's loading itself, and then it's going to start loading Once there's more demand on coal in this guy, it will start loading the coal up into the boiler. And that way, we will automatically have coal flowing from this coal patch into the boiler, keeping my whole electricity grid up and running. So one thing you might notice here is the coal is only going on one side of the conveyor belt. Each conveyor belt has two sides to it, but inserters and other things will only output to one side of the conveyor belt. So if you want to fill up both sides of the conveyor belt, this is where you can start getting a little tricky with some of the other components. Do I even have those components yet? I do not. I might need to do some research. Okay, this is fine for now. Now where we do want to use some electricity is down here. Having this stuff coal-fired is great. But here we have an electric mining drill. The electric mining drill is way faster. And you know, I want fast mining. So again, we're going to need some copper. So pretty soon I'm going to have what I really should do is just one of these guys. One of those guys, one of those guys. I should have just had this mining copper for me the whole time. Oh well, live and learn. There he goes. And you get some coal. This might be the most boring stream in the world. I don't know. I think this game is fun. Okay. An electric mining drill. So while that's crafting, let's run some more electricity down to our iron patch. And would you look at that? Out of coal. Perfect. So this coal-fired mining drill only covers 4 small tiles. This guy covers a lot more than that. So right now we'll just have him continue to output to this guy, but very shortly we're going to replace this stone furnace with something else. All we need is to run this electricity down where it touches, the blue part touches part of him, and he will start mining. And he mines really fast. He mines a lot faster than the coal-fired one. Let's see. I really do need a lot more copper. That's a lot more copper. Alright. I'm going to build a lab here. Because the lab is what lets me do research. And research is what gives me a lot more stuff to build. The tech tree is very, very, very extensive. There's a lot of stuff to research. I mean, really, a lot of stuff. So that's why I'm building a lab. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if I'm missing anything. Like I said, I'm pretty new at this game, so... nope. Alright, so the lab also requires electricity. I'm actually going to put it down, for now, right here. Good a place as any. And what the lab takes as resources are these science packs, based on color. And right now, for a lot of the basic research, you just need red science. And I can make a bunch of red science by hand. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And what I want to be building next... yes, automation. That's the first thing I want to research. Because automation gets you assemblers, which are buildings that can build stuff for you. And it just spirals out from there. Okay. Oh, there we go. We're researching. This is going to take... What is this going to take? So it needs 10 seconds and 1 red science pack times 10. So in other words, 100 seconds and 10 red science. Yeah, 100 seconds and 10 red science packs. I think I have to make a few more of those by hand. I need copper for... Just make a bunch of red science. While we're making that, you'll notice these guys are no longer mining because their output is completely blocked. There's so much coal being mined now that it's filled this entire half of the belt. So they're just going to wait around until this inserter up here grabs a coal. One of these guys will output another coal, and they'll just keep this belt full. You can see on my steam engine here, the performance. It's not, I'm not really consuming very much in the way of electricity, and I have a lot of room to grow just off this single engine. So there's also a fun thing I can do. There's a pickup button, and you just hold it down and you can run around and pick stuff off the ground. So I like to do this. Just pick up a whole big swath of stuff. I don't have any reason to do it. I have way too much coal in my inventory. Alright, so automation is done being researched. Let's pick the next thing to automate, or to research. What is this? Extra slots on my tool belt. This is trains. I don't think I need trains. Oh no, this is exactly what I want. So this will, if I research this logistics, I get underground belts, which are really useful if you have a ton of stuff that you need to move a belt through. I get these fast inserters, and I get splitters. And splitters are very important as well. That will let you start directing resources off of the belts. So I'm going to go ahead and research this guy. Oh, right. You hit Alt, you'll get a little overlay of all the buildings on what they are currently doing. So you can see now I've got this, I can tell he's using red research. So up here, you can see I've got a bunch of copper plates. But you know, it's really kind of a pain to have to keep running back up to these places, getting resources. So why don't I build some belts to bring all my stuff to a more central location? That's what I'll do. I'll pick up my forge here. Just start running belts. Not quite enough. But that way we can get our copper down in this area. Try and clear some trees. pesky nature is in my way. I have heavy industry to build. Keep making belts. You need a lot of belts. I don't know why this guy's mining so sporadically. Oh, because this is full of iron ore. This thing is literally mining iron faster than this can smelt it. More belts. Really what I should do. Let's see. I can solve that problem. Boy, I really wish I had thought ahead. I kind of bottlenecked myself on this. That's okay. All right. That should be enough for a quick little... Boy, that is hard to see when it's at night. All right. I'm just going to build a quick little forge factory here. Just to try and smelt a little faster. I'm going to build a couple of boxes. The output stick a bunch of coal in there. Get these all fired up with electricity. So these inserters are faster because they're electric instead of coal fired. Now you can see as these things make iron plates, these inserters are going to take them and put them in these crates, and these ones are going to refill from the belt. So this should eliminate my bottleneck. Yeah, that does it. Alrighty. Now I should be able to build a lot more belts. Alright, I've got quite a decent bit of copper going on here. And you know, I don't really have much I can do with that copper right now, but it's being mined pretty slowly, so I don't really need to worry quite yet. I would like... Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. What I did down here, I basically want to do up here with my copper. I am very new at this game, so a lot of my designs are pretty inefficient. That's okay. Efficiency comes later. And we'll just run some electricity up here. Alright. Then while those are doing that, yeah, it's very satisfying to get stuff running. I'm gonna build another one of these electric mining drills. Let's run some electricity back up to the copper. Because guess what? We don't need the slow coal-fired one. We got electric. And why can't I place that? No, because I'm standing on it. You know, I bet we could run another one here. All right. You can see the belt is filling up quite a bit. These things are not super fast, so I might have to build more of them. Got a lot of iron. I'm already hitting the limits here. This thing is barely keeping up. Alright. That off my quick bar, because I don't need those anymore. Yeah, let's build another one of those. Ooh, let's build two of them. There. Now we'll start filling up both sides of this belt with a lot of copper. Oops. Of course, this is not super efficient, putting all these into individual boxes like this and manually loading these with coal. So we'll probably have to make this better. Oh. Gather up some of this. Keep these guys fed until I can make a better solution. Really getting a lot of copper going now. Alright. Now we can start building assemblers. I need a little more iron. Build two of them. That's what I would like. There we go. So basically, you notice the research stopped because we're no longer I don't have any more red stuff really to put in here, except a little that I had left over in my inventory. Wouldn't it be great if I could just have something automatically build the red stuff, put in here automatically, like I said multiple times? That would be pretty sweet. So let's do that. Let's see, what does it take to make the red science? Copper plate and an iron gear wheel. Alright. So, I'm going to get rid of these boxes. Instead, we'll feed those onto an assembly line. Now that I think about it, I might move this over to the other side. Nah, it should be fine. At the same time, start building more belts, bring the iron up from this side. Just out of belts. Oh, right, I need this. I need these things to make more belts. Yeah, by the way, this, like I said, this design is extremely inefficient. Not laid out very well at all. But it's okay. I've read a lot of articles on good design for this kind of stuff, and it gets really kind of bananas. Okay, so I'm gonna move this electricity for a bit so it's not in my way. There we go. All right, so now we have copper and iron plates on the same line, but everything's kind of stacking up on one side. But what I really need is to turn these iron plates, for the red research, I need to turn these iron plates into iron gear wheels. So we'll tell our assembler here that that's what he's going to do. He's going to turn iron plates into iron gear wheels. And let's take 2 inserters. And we're going to have him output his iron gear wheels back onto this belt. And you notice the inserter always places the item on the far side of the belt. So now at the end of our belt here, we're going to have copper and iron gear wheels. We can have another inserter, or another assembler, and he's going to make red science. And once he's done making red science, we'll feed that red science right into our lab. But you notice we have a problem here. All our copper plates and iron plates are on the same side of the belt, and they're getting mixed up. You can see all these inserters, they want to put down copper plates, but they don't have any place to put it because the iron is clogging it up. And if we don't solve this problem eventually, this whole thing is going to be iron, there won't be any copper, and without copper we can't make red research. But for now I can solve this problem by just picking up a bunch of the iron, but that's not sustainable. So how do we solve that problem? And basically, to solve it, I need to wait for this next little bit of research to finish. The logistics. Because that's going to give me the solution. Yeah, not a bad little system so far. A little disorganized, but not terribly so. I could probably smelt iron a little faster. Let's go ahead and make another forge here. We still haven't solved the problem of how to get coal to this in a more automated way. But these guys are not using as much coal as we would think, so, or as we need to be worried about yet. It's fine the way it is. Hey, our logistics just finished. So, real quick, let's pick something else to research. Let's see. What would be good? Electronics. Guns, turrets. Turrets is probably a good one, and I think that's what's already being researched. We'll go ahead and research turrets. And the reason we want to research turrets will become clear at some point. Okay. Now that we have logistics, we have a lot more stuff we can build. You know, we have different kinds of inserters. And the big one, we have underground belts. But the big thing we have here is a splitter. And a splitter is how you manage your belts. It's how you manage what side things are going on. You can, you know, if you have a combined belt where you have two different materials on both sides, you can use splitters to balance them better. And what we're going to do for this, I'm going to use splitter to put all my iron plates on the right side of the belt. So what the splitter is doing is it's taking this input and it's balancing it between the two outputs. So you can see half the plates are coming out the left side and half are coming out the right side. But when they come out the right side, I immediately turn the belt back into itself. And that's going to force anything coming off this right side onto the right side of the belt here. So the other thing I can do is I can say this splitter will always try to output to the right side if it can. So now every plate that comes in is going to come out the right side. It's going to turn back into the belt, and it's now going to be on the right side of the belt here. Which means we don't have to worry anymore about it taking up the spot that the copper wants to be on. It's only ever going to come in on the right side, and it's going to be grabbed by this. And I'm going to put a little break in here just to make sure that iron plates don't ever get past this. I want my iron plates to stop here so that only iron gears come up on this side. So that's a basic assembly line right there. I have some stuff I can get rid of. I don't need to be carrying that around. And I can get rid of those gears. I can just fill these assemblers up with stuff manually just like everything else. You can see copper's getting pretty backed up here. That's fine. Eventually we'd want this to be efficient enough where, you know, we're smelting it kind of as fast as we're mining it, but it's okay where it is. So you notice though, this belt is getting backed up, which means we're not making as much red research as we could be, and I'd like to be making more of it. So let's make more of it. Oh, I didn't realize my research was going already. I have a mod that automatically researches. And if I don't pick something, it'll pick something for me. And what it picks may not be what I want. So, go ahead and make some more of these assemblers. What do I need? I need electronic circuit. Can't I make electronics? What am I missing for that? I don't have enough iron. Guess what? I have enough iron. Alright. So, I'm going to start tearing some of this stuff up real briefly. Need more belts. And I need more inserters, and I need more iron. I'm going to tell all these guys to make red research. It's the big thing I need right now. There we go. I'm going to tell all these guys to take their red research and put it in a lab. And I need more of all this stuff to build that lab. There we go. Is that not right? Nope, I need... What am I missing? Electronic circuit. Oh, still missing iron. So you can see I need more iron than I'm making, so I'll have to increase my production of iron. Make another lab. In fact, I can make a bunch more labs. I'm also going to make another assembler to make more of these. In fact, I'm going to, while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to rearrange a little bit of how this stuff is getting made. I notice I'm bottlenecking now on the gears as well. So I want to make more gears. You notice there's a lot more copper than there are gears. Right. I'm gonna bring, oops, the iron up this side. Nope, that's wrong. Need one space. Two more inserters. Right. All right. And there's my research line. So this is going to build all the components I need to keep researching the red research stuff. What am I researching right now? Electronics. Okay, that seems fine. Alright. So, I'd like to build more iron mining. I need a lot more iron, which is kind of a funny paradox. Not paradox. I don't know. I need iron to mine iron. Now I'm starting to run into the problem of keeping up enough coal fed into my forges. That's still a manual step I have here, a manual step I have down in the iron. Okay, electronics are done. What is it doing now? Optics. Don't know that I need optics. A lot of this stuff I'm not really sure what it does. Automation 2, that seems good. What does that get me? Ooh, it gets me the next level of assembling machines. So right now the assembling machines I have can only take one ingredient. So they're fairly... Or maybe they can take two. Require up to... Crafts items that requires up to 2 ingredients. The next level of assembling machines can take 3. You can start getting even more complex. Alright, so now you can see I'm actually bottlenecked on both the gears and the copper. So I could either start making even more red research, but honestly this stuff is kind of researching not quite as fast as this can produce. It takes a little longer for these things to produce red research than these things to consume it. So maybe a 1-to-1 ratio between these is not the best thing I could have. It's a little inefficiency in my system. That's okay. Alright, so now that I got done building all this stuff up, I'm going to rip it apart. Like, we've proven the concept, but really, I think the having my forges be the bottleneck is going to be a problem sooner rather than later. So I might want to solve that problem. You can also see my copper now. I'm using enough electricity in my boiler that it is really getting through the copper pretty quickly. Or the coal. The coal, sorry. Coal, copper. So it really burns through it. No pun intended. You can see my system here is not quite keeping up. Yeah, so I have a little bit of I have some bottlenecks that I need to work with. Or work around, I should say. So let's start to work around them. And by the way, this is basically what this game is. Working around these kind of bottlenecks, making your system more efficient. Just over and over and over, that's what you're doing. Up until you can launch a rocket. So one of the first things I'm going to do with this coal belt here, because you notice all my coal is lined up on one side. I'd really like that to be on 2 sides. I'd like that to have this belt completely full of coal. Then I'm going to go ahead and add another drill. There we go. All right, really burning through the research. In fact, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to need not just red science packs, I'm going to need green science packs. And that can get pretty heavy. So one thing I haven't talked about much is why I have guns. And I have guns basically because I am not alone on this planet. Every planet in Factorio is inhabited by creatures called biters. And biters get really mad when you pollute their world. And this red splotch is where my pollution has spread to. So at some point, this pollution is going to get to a biter nest. And at that point, biters are going to start attacking me and trying to tear down my automation because I'm polluting their home. They're totally in the right. But I gotta build rockets. I gotta build factories, you know. Like, I gotta do my own thing. So that's why I have guns. So I do at some point want to upgrade my guns and armor. Start building out automated turrets to protect my stuff from the biters. All right. I am going to start building a different mechanism here for building out steel. We're actually smelting the iron ore into the iron plates, and the same with the copper. As you can see, my copper's backing up pretty good. So obviously I'm mining this way faster than I can smelt it. All right, research military. Sure, why not? Because that'll get me a machine gun. One second, I'm going to take a very small break and let my dog outside. Okay. So, I was thinking during the break about how I'm going to set up better smelting. So I'm just going to rip up all this stuff. I wish there was a little bit of a faster way to pick up belt, but that's okay. So just tear all this stuff down. We're going to make it better. Alright, so now instead of... Whoops. Instead of sending iron plates down here, I just want to send iron ore. I accidentally ripped up my electricity. That's not exactly work. I need to balance it the other way. There we go. Now it'll balance properly. All right. We'll just let that fill. And we're going to do, let's see. Largely the same stuff here. With the copper. The nice part is I can rip all this stuff up and it doesn't degrade in quality or anything, so I can just immediately reuse it. I'm also using a mod that lets me grab or place anything I can see on the screen. Normally you have to be pretty close to stuff to pick it up, and I just don't want to deal with it. Alright. Oh. Okay. So now we have a line of copper and a line of iron ore. And I want to build a much more efficient smelting operation than what I've got here, or than what I had. So in that case, I'm going to build more of these mining drills. I don't want to interfere with these, since these are keeping my electricity alive. I'm going to just start mining elsewhere in the patch here. Yeah, rotate these guys around. May not be the most efficient way to do this. Whoops. I'm gonna get some more coal out of here. Coal's all gonna be on the right side. I want to balance it to the left. I want a full line of coal. All right. Go ahead and bring coal up. The coal is going to become kind of our central part of our line. Then bring the copper on this side. Oops. All right. A lot more belts. So this is where we're going to start building our big forge. So for this, I'm going to need... I need a bunch of iron plates that I don't have. That's okay. We're going to have iron plates. We're going to have a lot of iron plates pretty soon. I'm going to put them. Nope. So out of this, I'm just going to give myself room to grow. It's going to come iron and copper like crazy. Now I'm probably going to have to move those eventually. I'm going to manually fill these with coal. I need iron plates for what I'm going to do next. And I don't have any. I'm just going to stand here and collect a bunch of the iron. So you'll notice I kind of stacked everything in the middle here. The problem with this is that inserters can only grab one space away unless you use long-handled inserters. Because they can grab multiple spaces. And these are what's going to be grabbing my coal for me. Unless I made a mistake in how I laid this out, which I think I might have. Didn't leave enough room for the power poles. Well, that was sure silly of me. That's okay. That's why I gave myself some extra space down here. So now each one of these forges is going to have 4 inputs instead of just the 2. So, let's see. Then we'll do long-handled inserter, 2 normals, long-handled inserter. I think the electricity does stretch that far. Awesome. Then down. Another power pole. There you go. I just need a few more of these. Build a bunch more of these long-handled inserters. By the way, it's a really lucky thing that conveyor belts don't need electricity in this game. That would be a real pain in the butt if they did. But they just run... They run for free. Great. Righty. Base, doop, doop, doop. I'm gonna need a bunch more of those guys. Lucky for me, I have something making a really insane amount of, not insane, a really ludicrous bananas amount of iron. Alright. And there we go. Have a nice automated forge. Plenty of room to expand as I need. There are more efficient furnaces that I can research later. Speaking of research, I should probably get on that. Well, now that I think about it, having these guys combine into a single belt, probably not the greatest idea. Instead, and start building something that I really haven't heard a lot about, or I've heard some about, and I don't totally know how to make it work. But it is a thing that some people do where they more or less make buses for their material. And that as you need raw material, you just peel it off the bus and use it. I haven't really done a lot with that. I've tried it, but it's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. All right. Go. So let's see. The way I understand the buses work. Let's see. They are. Oops, I need a lot more belts. They're basically 4 wide with 2 gaps, 2 spaces in between them. Oh, this gets pretty ridiculous. Okay, my copper is completely backed up on one side here. Inserters only like to grab from one side of the belt. I could probably stretch this out quite a ways with forges. Yeah, that's a problem for later. Let's see. What's my electricity doing? I'm using a little under half my electricity. I think that's what that means. I could do quite a bit more. Alright, so my understanding of the way the belts work, or the way buses work, is you build them 4 wide, then you have a gap of 2 in between, then another 4. Don't really understand this mechanism. You build balancers like this, splitters I should say. Nope, I did it backwards. I think you do it like this. I'm going off memory of what one person told me it was. Oops. I totally blew up. I think you right prioritize all of them. So then we will feed that. So we don't need these. That'll just start filling up the bus. Gonna make tons more belts. You can see I'm starting to exhaust one side of this belt. It's gonna start picking up from the other side. Alright. Let's just bring it out like this. Alright. Well, I can build a bunch of these. Maybe so this isn't so dark. And leave plenty of room. That's what I've read. Just in case we have other stuff we want to put in the bus later. So it's already 8:30. I doubt I'm going to have that much more, but just reserve some space here. I feel like I might have these balanced wrong. I don't know. I'm also going to need some underground belts. Let's see. Yeah, I might have these balanced wrong. I don't know. I suppose it doesn't really matter. So, we want to keep going back to our research. We need copper plates and iron gear wheels, so we need to pull off some iron and some copper. So to do that, basically do this. And where's my underground belts? Still making them. Look at this magnet. It's all theory. It's all theory. Me, at least. We'll just build some normal belts, too. You can see how this gets out of control pretty quickly. I haven't even encountered any biters yet. Once I do, my priorities are going to shift rapidly. But while we're waiting, pop these guys down and do a little research. What do we research now? Not a lot I can research without green science. We'll research that. I waste the electric. All right. So now, to split off from the bus, I think you do this. Take an underground belt. Nope, I have this all completely backwards, I'm sure. So basically, these underground belts let me run a belt under this other stuff. We'll need more splitters. right. Actually, could have done this one space over. Anyway, that's okay. We'll just run these way up here. We could always replace this stuff with underground belts if we needed to. And here's where we're going to build for research. So for red, copper, and iron gears. For green, we need, wow, lots of other stuff. All right. We need iron gears. Oops. We'll kind of do one of these. This will be for making our iron gears. What I'm actually going to try doing is sticking back on the same side of the work. So basically what I want to do here, ensure copper only goes on one side of the belt, gears only go on the other. That'll do it. This is extremely ugly right here. There's probably way better, cleaner ways to do that. I don't particularly care. Now, here, we can once again build our red research. A lot more inserters. We'll just make all many as we can. This is probably, I'm sure anybody who's really experienced with this game would just be shaking their head at this. And to them I say, screw you, man, I've only been playing this for a week. Give me a break, jeez. All right. Actually, yeah, the biters, I'm surprised I haven't gotten attacked yet. I'm woefully unprepared. Have you played this before, Felix? Right, my labs were all the way down here. Alright, so I am bottlenecked on my copper, almost. I'm definitely bottlenecked on my iron. So that's another problem to solve. Oh yeah, you can make some ludicrous stuff here. Alright. That's going to start making red research, but now I need to start making green research as well. Before I do that, I probably... My copper is... not quite keeping up. I should probably build more forges. Actually, I don't know if I needed to do that. Oh well. Oh, whoops. Had a break in my conveyor. Alright. I feel like this should be all filling out. I'm doing something wrong. Oh, no, no, nope, nope. What I did wrong was I extended my forge and I didn't rebalance the belts. That's what I did wrong. I forgot to do this. There we go. That's gonna fill in the rest of this stuff. Alright. I'm now producing more red research than my labs can handle. Well, also, I'm not actually researching. Am I? Nope. I basically have run out of everything that I can research with only red. So yeah, I definitely have to start making green research. So what do I need for that? Belts and inserters. Belts need iron and gears. Inserters need iron, gears, and electronic circuits. And electronic circuits need iron and copper. I'm going to need a lot of iron and a lot of copper. All right. We'll build out about here. Build a lot more bits. And I ran out of bits. Yeah, look at this. Look at my glorious pollution factory. It's actually a bit smaller than I expected. That's okay. Making a whole lot of those gear wheels make belts. On. How's my electricity doing? I might be getting to the point where I need a little more in the electricity system. Let's see. Yep, I'm just about hitting my max. And I need another steam engine. Just to make sure I don't have brownouts. That would be pretty bad. Make another one. Oh, and my forge is outpacing my iron mining. I'll probably have to go down and add some more drills. Can you hear the engine going? Cool train sound. All right. Pop this guy in the end. There we go. Now we're gonna easily meet all our electricity demands. No problem. Make a couple more of these guys. I might actually be out of electric poles. Good thing there's all these trees to chop down. Here we go. Should help our iron production. Right. Whoops. What's that? Okay. Oh wow, I'm almost out of time. Let's see, we need a thing that makes belts. Let's just need iron and gears. Get out of here, nature. I'm gonna need more assemblers. Belts, we need gear wheels. You're gonna make gears. And then you are belts. Oops, that's all right. So that gets me iron and belts. Inserters. Gears, iron. All right, well, you can kind of see how to get green science I'd finish building a little assembly line that would build inserters, and then I'd combine those with the belts here. And that would make green science, which I could then feed back into my labs here. I could start doing all of this research that needs both red and green. And that gets me a lot. That gets trains, which I have no idea how they work. You can eventually get to robots, and robots will build stuff for you. There's like your inserters get even wilder. You can get fast inserters. You can get filter inserters that will only grab certain items. And eventually you can see the research gets to the point where there's like, is that 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 different kinds of research? Something like that. 7. So at some point, you get to launch a rocket ship. Anyway, I'm gonna save this. Say So before I go, I want to show one of my other worlds. Let's see. This was my first attempt at a bus, and I kind of messed it up. But I'm not quite doing things quite as efficiently as I should be. But I have a lot of stuff going on here. As you can see, here's my bus. Here's my red-green research. See, I'm building tons of green stuff, tons of red. I have this huge copper line up here that I'm feeding everything with. Let me zoom in a little bit, that'll be easier. So this was kind of my first whack at doing some of this bus-based stuff. And yeah, there's a lot more. Oh, I'm under attack. Yeah, you can see how completely bonkers this is getting already. Oh, hey, some biters. They almost destroyed my belts. You can get faster belts, you know, faster splitters, all that stuff. So anyway, this is my this was my previous attempt, and it's a little much. There's a lot going on, probably too much in not the right ways, but that's okay. So yeah, and this is, I've barely scratched the surface with this. Like, there is so much that you can get into with this game. I've seen some videos of some people's stuff that just dwarfs this. Meanwhile, you know, I'm like, hey, look at my cool stuff. And I mean, this is not even 1% of the stuff I've seen people build. So yeah, I'm curious to see where I can go, where the trains go and things like that. How that'll help, how robots will help. Robots sound exciting, and I have no idea how they fit into all this. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was interesting. Not necessarily the most exciting stream, but, you know, interesting, like I said, I hope. This game, I believe it's out on Steam. I'm not sure if it's out on any of the other digital storefronts. I don't even know how much it is. I don't think it's that expensive. I can go check real quick. The developers are really active. They work with the community a lot. They help mod authors a lot. And in fact, a lot of mods that get written, if they're good enough, the devs will actually bring that into the full game, and I believe either hire the mod authors or pay them for their mod. So this game is $30 on Steam. And yeah, you can, for $30, there's a lot of time you can spend. You know, in terms of a dollar to time investment, I think you could get lost in here for hundreds and hundreds of hours. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let's see, I just had the window open and I closed it. Let's see, tomorrow, Jamster will be playing Killer 7 at 9 p.m. Central or Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. On Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Liam will be playing Yakuza 0. And Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, I will not be playing Dead by Daylight. I will be playing Last Year the Nightmare, which is a new asymmetric multiplayer horror game that just came out on Tuesday. So I'm going to play that and see how that differs from Dead by Daylight. And then at on on Monday, on Christmas Eve at 8 p.m. Eastern, Kyle will be playing Stellaris. So tune in to all those streams, and who knows, maybe I'll do another Factorio stream if enough people want me to. Otherwise, this might just be a one-off. But thanks for watching, and have a good night.